Welcome to another episode of Prepper Talk Radio, everybody. We're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, and we're live on our page on Facebook and in our group. So if you're not in our group, we have a special opportunity to discuss all kinds of things in our group with some subject matter experts that are affiliated with us. So get into our Facebook group as soon as possible and join us there. So also want to remind everybody, please hit the like button as you're listening on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, so that it puts out to the algorithm that this is a live worth listening to, so we can get some traffic to the live. If you have any friends that need to know about preparedness and whatnot, please share the link to them so that they can be listening in while we're going live. We love the opportunity to go live so that we can talk to people and have interactions and have people ask questions and concerns and share with us their thoughts. And I've learned anyways, a lot from some of you who are listening and watching and putting comments and so we love it. So, and we're super close to 1,000 guys. We're like 980 something, 985. So please, if we can get 15 more people to subscribe to our YouTube channel, we're going to be running the contest for the Jase case, the medical case, the antibiotic supplies for your prep kit. And then we're also going to be giving away the 5-ounce silver bar.
986.
Just so you know, that 5-ounce silver bar is actually worth more today than it was
when this
started last year when this started.
Yeah.
So don't make us wait too much longer so that we can get that out to you guys, somebody, as soon as possible. So today we have a special opportunity to hear from and talk to Jason with Utah Shooters Association, and they're putting on a huge event in May 20th. They're going to put on an event in Utah County, up at the Hobble Creek gun range, and it's called Shootah. So we're going to talk a little bit about Jason. If you listen to our last episode, you'll remember that Jason is part of the Utah Shooters Association, and we talked about the Second Amendment rights, our privileges, some of the things we can do for advocacy, some of the things that we can do to help our children stay safe in their particular educational facilities. So, but this episode, we might discuss some of that, but this episode, we're going to really focus in on some of the fun things that, and Shane is already like going crazy. So go on. If you want to know what the heck Shane's, his special effects sounds were, go to the YouTube and watch.
There we go. What is that thing?
It's a crazy 22.
It's a single shot? Nope. Whoa!
Yeah.
What is?
What?
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, shout out to Gallinsons. I picked this up at Gallinsons.
Gallinsons? So you can still buy that thing. It's not an antique or something, is it?
I wouldn't shoot this.
Really?
This is a wall hanger, but it's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
I've never seen that kind before. So interesting. And what was that shotgun you showed us earlier? What was that?
Oh, that was a cool Stevenson trench gun.
Trench gun, huh?
Also picked up from Gallinsons.
So do they kind of specialize in older firearms, kind of collectibles, or
for some reason they have a lot of really cool stuff, like older stuff.
Oh, in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Downtown. It's off
okay.
About 200 north.
No, I've never been there before.
Oh yeah,
I'm a Utah County guy, so
they've got tons of newer stuff, all sorts of really cool guns. But then they have like a bunch of older cool stuff.
That's
cool.
awesome.
I didn't know. I've heard of Gallinsons, but I thought they were just a website or something. But
nope, they're local.
Very cool.
It's actually the oldest gun shop in Utah.
Yeah. Okay. I did not know that.
And it's in the most
something new every day.
It looks like this little tiny place.
Yeah.
And it's not that big, but it looks even smaller than it is. And driving by, if you don't know that's what it is, you're going to completely just it blends in. I mean, it's got graphics on the outside wall, spray painted and stuff.
Like planned graffiti.
Yeah.
They change up every quarter, seems like.
Do they change it up that often? Wow, yeah.
There's always somebody changes something.
I call that building tattoos.
Yeah, no doubt.
So Jason,
I see.
Tell us about what you guys what you have planned. Like, give us a little history on the Shootah event, and then give us some of the rundown on what you have planned for this year.
Okay. Shootah history. I believe we're in our 9th year of Shootah, maybe 8th, because 2020 we took 2020 off. And it pre to that point, it was like Utah Shooters Range Day. Didn't really have a name. Everyone just kind of got together and shot into the hillside. It was a good old time.
I think we've all done that at one point or another. Didn't
Yeah.
call it an event or anything. Just went and that's where we're going to shoot for the day.
Yeah, it was just social media at that point. It was just a big group of people that were into guns. Utah Shooters account, and it was like, hey, everyone come out. And then I think some of the businesses started to get involved, like the Armory, maybe. Ready Gunner was there, and a handful of others. They'd start to bring out, some machine guns, or, then you start to see Silencer Co. bring some stuff out. And like it started to get bigger and bigger because Utah has a huge footprint in the firearm industry.
Yeah,
with some big
You had like
names
6 or 7 manufacturers out here, right?
of silencers, of just suppressors, yes,
Suppressors, but also firearms as well. Yeah,
I mean dozens of firearms.
Yeah.
So it started. I mean, over the years, you started to see some of those bigger companies come do stuff, and it was cool. So it grew and grew, and 2019 probably had about 400 attendees. And we now get 1,500, 2,000 attendees, and probably went from something around the realm of 20 vendors in 2019 to now we have last year we had about 60, and we'll have about the same this year. We have 30 firing line spots, and we usually have another 30 to 40 businesses off the firing line with a whole bunch of activities. This year we're building out a whole kids section, so that'll be fun.
Kids gun section, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and without trying, and this is like a humble brag, I guess, but without focusing on this one element, I guess, we get a lot of feedback that it's a very family friendly event. People that go to these types of events for their job around the country, some guys even around the world, have pulled us aside and said, like, this is the most family friendly, the most a lot of gun events might have, like, there's just kind of ego when you're dealing with a lot of companies in the industry. Sometimes there can be ego, right? So we've been told that Shootah is just like a really awesome event because it's so family friendly, and it's more of just an honest approach to coming out and having fun, celebrating the Second Amendment, celebrating Utah businesses, and there's just really there's no agenda.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? We're not trying to make a point. We're not standing on it saying,
it's not a soapbox. It's
not a soapbox. It's just, hey, like, there are other people who enjoy guns the way I enjoy guns and enjoy the freedoms and liberties, and like, hey, come hang out, right? There's a bunch of Utah companies. The firearm industry employs, tens of thousands of people, I'm sure. Like, it's big, but it's something that doesn't really get talked about on a bigger scale. So it's a strong industry, and we do our best to keep growing that community, and bringing everyone together is what Shootah is all about.
I would appreciate if you could bring me together with a Desert Tech rifle. That would be awesome.
I will see what I can do.
I think I like what Whited Outdoor says. No energy drinks for Shane before the show. Like, what is?
I never have energy drinks. I got plenty. I got water. That's my energy drink.
That's awesome, Whited.
Yeah,
so,
Shane is definitely a little more energetic today. I think it's because
when it comes to firearms.
Like, you throw something that Shane likes in topic, and he gets giddy and excited, and it's Christmas, and
I'm 50.
And he kick and he can stretch.
That's awesome.
Well, it helps that Jason's showing different tools of the trade that
are right there on his desk.
With. So he's like, "Wait, what's that? I need to know."
Right.
You can give me.
I have a few.
So can you give us a little teaser? I know that your list is probably not finalized yet, but what's a little teaser of some of the companies that are going to be there?
We've got R&R Tactical is putting on a good show with a 50 cal that you guys can come shoot, and a 249.
Nice.
Silencer Co. will be there. So we have a bay that has 20 firing line spots, and that's going to be anyone who's unsuppressed, because then we have a 10 bay spot that everything is suppressed. So there in the suppressed area, you've got Silencer Co., Utah company, Dead Air, Utah company, Amtac Suppressors, Utah company. I know I'm going to forget a bunch here. JK Armament coming out of, I think, Idaho, but I could be totally wrong.
So if I come and I want to try a suppressor on my handgun, can I walk?
This is the event.
They'll have like a when I can try out, so to speak.
Yeah.
Put it on my gun and go shoot it.
You can look at this event. Yeah, you can look at this event depending on who's there, right? This is a this is a try it before you buy it event.
Oh, so
right.
Cool.
So yeah, you could pick up a whole bunch of different suppressors. Huxworks, local company that used to be OSS, Silencer Co., and you could compare them all. You could pick up all their 5.56 rifle offerings and their cans that go to those guns, and you could make a more informed decision of your own if that's what you want to do, or you just come and shoot and have a dang good time and wish that you'd gone on the suppressor train. And I might add, we have Silencer Shop coming, and if you guys know Silencer Shop, they're the ones with those really nice kiosks that make the purchase process of a suppressor very, very simplified. If you go into your gun shop, there's a little kiosk there with the Silencer Shop. Mm-hmm. That's a really cool way. So they're one of our top sponsors, and there will be a section of the event probably after our flag ceremony, which is about noon. We'll have an hour where the whole entire event is suppressed.
Oh, wow.
So that'll be really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, your pro can come off when you're off the firing line. We got to work out those specifics of, what insurance will require. But ultimately, going from full blown 249 ripping and 50 cal, we're going to throw suppressors on all that stuff. And then you can run those pro. Mm-hmm.
So is it hype, or did somebody tell me that last year you guys had some kind of tank or some kind of a really big cannon?
So Mike Pappas, who owns and operates Dead Air silencers out of Dead Air suppressors, I'm messing up their name. They're up in Heber, and he personally owns a BMP, like a Russian-built BMP personnel carrier. So it's a tracked personnel carrier that has a turret on top, and he's retrofitted an M2 50 cal.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh!
It's solenoid. Yeah, it's super cool. It's solenoid fired. So you're just looking through your little peep system, and you can turn the turret around and move the gun up and down, and you're just hitting a little button to fire that gun.
And so what, you just buy the bullet, and then you pay for the bullet, and then you get to load it in, and then you can go push the button.
Yeah, we would have had packages, where you could buy 3, you could buy 10. And of course he's in there, as your personal cheerleader, like, oh man, that's awesome. You could do 10 more, right? And he's getting people to, upselling them into the experience. He's just, if you've ever met him, he's a very fun guy to be around.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Now, cool. Pricing, it's $20 a ticket.
Yes, $20 a ticket. And this next week, we're going to be putting out a whole bunch of discount codes for different companies that are going to be there. So it would be, we'll certainly issue you guys one that you can put out to your followers when we post this, right? We can do a discount code that'll can get people something like 20-25% off.
Cool.
Awesome.
You guys heard it here. We'll add a note to it, and then we'll also share that across all our social media when that comes out.
Oh, that's right. I forgot this is live. I was thinking the other one that we just recorded.
I want to know this though.
Both.
I want to know, what does the VIP registration come with? It says it's a 300 plus value. What is that? Like, do I get to shoot all the big stuff without additional costs? What are we talking here?
Potentially. So what that'll bring you is a custom US Gear Co. bag. And you're going to get a limited edition Shootah 2023 custom printed magazine, like an AR-15 30-round mag that Culper Precision out of Provo, they do a really amazing print work where they've figured out a way to, and I'm probably going to butcher this, but they essentially can print like Cerakote in an amazing print job in custom things. So you'll see that if you were to check out Amentu or Culper. But we've got a cool mag in there, and then we've got this year we're trying out a like a Shootah punch pass, and what this punch pass will allow you to do, you'll have a handful of opportunities special to the punch pass holder to go to certain companies and do a challenge, do some sort of shooting opportunity that you can only do with that punch pass, and there will be prizes involved. So it's going to be a cool kind of like upper level track of things you could go do.
That's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You have like is there going to be, since you mentioned earlier that it's a family friendly event, is there like a package for families if you get 5 tickets or 10? Some of these families in Utah, they have like 10 tickets that they're going to need to buy. So is there a discount for the family for both?
Yeah. I don't remember what it is, but I think if it's 4 or more, there is a group discount, whether it's 10 or 15%.
10% off for 5 or more people.
There you go.
And then you've also got kids 12 to 17 is $10. Kids 6 to 11 is $6. So that yeah, you guys have it pretty
Awesome.
covered.
And Scott, just so everybody knows that who's listening, Scott has is looking at Shootah, SHOOTAH.com, and that will have all the details on the event. We're going to be there, and we're going to have so come by, say hi, make sure that you're and we're going to talk about it probably at least a little bit, a couple of podcasts all the way up until the event, because we want to have you there. And I talked with Jason, and Jason, tell me if this is true still. You'd mentioned having some internet available that we might even be able to do a little bit live from the show. So
we should. I've got 2 Starlink systems that we'll have for a few of us who need it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Right. We'll have one in our HQ, and then I'll have one probably down by the silencer area, so that silencer shop can run. If people want to purchase right then and there, they can facilitate that with their system. So they'll, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that spot really well, but the internet, is like in and out. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not so great, and so we're just gonna do a couple of those Starlink systems to make sure. So you guys could probably tap into one of those and get a nice solid connection.
The other thing I'm really interested in is the night shoot, right? Tell us a bit about that, because the problem I see that I'm going to have with it is that I'm going to go shoot at night. I'm going to wear the optics, and then I'm going to get in trouble because I'm going to have to buy the best of the night optics, right? So tell me why not? Should I do the night shoot, right? Because you showed us your rifle, you're set up for shooting at night with the optics. And I know there's a difference between thermal and just night vision. Tell us a little bit about all that.
I am certainly no pro. I mean, thermal is obviously a heat signature, right? Mm. And IR, your night vision is IR, which is infrared, which is just picking up, different wavelengths that our natural human tubes don't pick up, in like I think it's like 850 and 940 nanometers or something. I mean, I'm talking about stuff I don't fully understand. But I do understand that it's super cool, and it's a lot of fun to mess around with. And really what we're hoping to do with this Shootah After Dark and with AGM Global Vision as a partner on this kind of stuff is really just show people how much fun night vision, in particular, I love the night vision stuff. Obviously there's hunting applications for thermal and some of these things, but like, this isn't just door kicking gear, right? Like dudes downrange, kicking indoors and raiding terrorists' homes with their night vision. That's cool. And I support that, but also like flipping the lights off to your truck or your side-by-side and going for a rip down the road under moonlight with no lights on with your night vision, it's unreal. So there's like a whole other element where people could really have a whole lot of fun to supplement the fun they already have with their really expensive toys. If you buy more expensive toys, you can have that much more fun.
More expensive fun.
Exactly my point there. Exactly.
More expensive fun.
My brother does. He was visiting this last week, and he's all into this too. I'm sure he's going to be sad that he can't be here in Utah for this event. But he was telling me his night vision. He and his buddies, they go on hikes at night, and just to kind of get used to seeing through the optic and using it to walk and stay safe as they're walking around. And they have a ton of fun just with his buddies hiking at night with their night vision. And he says that there's now I'm still new to this whole thing, but there's green, and then he has white vision.
He's got good stuff.
I don't know if I'm saying it properly, but
so there's white phosphor, I think. But there, you can get more and more green. Green's been around for a long time, and I guess as technology has improved, they've been able to get it more white. I think. I could totally be corrected by someone in the comments.
I'm
just barely getting into this stuff, but yeah, generally white I think is regarded as a little bit better.
So there was a guy with a high end setup a few years back. This is back when it was still green. Was one of the higher end setups. When I was living in California, this guy got arrested for driving with his lights off and using.
I would never do that.
Never condone that, right?
So we have
off road on your side by side, right? Like
he was doing back roads, just blasting it in his race. We'll call it race car. But he didn't. He ended up going to jail because he was going 50 over. At night in populated areas. Yeah.
I mean, Well, let's be safe and let's be reasonable here.
Right? But it could be pretty fun. I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm like, okay, get a fun little trail riding motorcycle or something. Throw this on and just go bust out through the mountains and have a blast.
That could be fun.
And honestly, like, depending on the ambient light from the moon, you can honestly see detail, and you can see so much more landscape and road with your night vision versus, honing in a hot spot, right? With your beams, just on your bike or your side-by-side or whatever, you can get such a better field of vision. Because it really, depending on certain light conditions, I mean, it's like the sun's out. The moon literally casts shadows on the ground depending on brush and rocks that looks like you'd think the sun was out, and then you move them up and then you're like, oh, but it's pitch black out here.
That's crazy. That's so cool.
It's nuts. Yeah. And if you're into stargazing or just looking up at the sky and seeing things move, night vision will blow your mind.
That's super cool. I heard it magnifies the light that's out there. So as those stars, with our natural eyes, the stars have so much light, but then when you throw those night visions on there, it's going to just really magnify the light.
By,
that's so cool.
1,000 billion%.
that's a new number we just came up with right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I was watching a video about, it was either IR or I'm totally losing it. But they took Mylar blankets and threw them up, and it was heat vision. I'm totally losing thermals. They're using thermals goggles to track people, and they threw up Mylar blankets and disappeared.
Sure.
And I was just like, it's that easy?
So you bring that up. There's a company out of, I think, Ogden. I recently came across them. I think their name is Revco. They design, it's like, and I don't know much about them, but they have camo designs that they'll do, and you can even have stuff commissioned. But they have a material and a design that they've, I think, patented. And it can hide you from thermal and night vision. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because they showed.
Yeah. So hey, if they're listening, Revco, you guys should come out to Shootah After Dark and show it off, because that only makes sense. We want to see it. Give the people what they want.
100%. I think here's the thing, like we just need more events like this. Like we keep telling our audience all the time, get to events like this. If there's an event like this in your state or a state nearby, go to it, because you're going to, number one, you're going to get to do something you're interested in. Number two, you're going to get new knowledge, new information, but best of all, you're going to create new relationships and build your network of people.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like that's the best part of these events is you're going to make friends at these events. You're going to see way cool stuff. You're probably going to buy some stuff. So make sure you padlock your budget for the day
And win stuff. You might win stuff at our events.
Oh, there you go.
That's awesome.
And win stuff.
Yeah.
Now, not every Shootah event is going to have preparedness stuff, but I know that you guys got several vendors that are coming that are like Sophos Survival's coming out. And do you got any other vendors that are going to have the prepper?
Last year he debuted the fire starting.
His Hell's Fire.
Hell's Fire.
Something like that. Hellfire.
It's awesome stuff. If you guys have used it, I have a bunch of in my cruiser so that I can start blue fires whenever I want, and that stuff is awesome. But
you're going to find more people at these events that are like-minded. You know, not every prepper wants to have an arsenal, but most of them do, and they all recognize the power of it. So we're going to have some really cool opportunities. I think we're going to have a lot of fun and a lot of cool opportunities to kind of network with people and share that information. So preppers love their Second Amendment rights. That's usually what I say.
Yes, we do.
Well, you got to defend the bunker somehow.
Yeah, defend the food stores too, right?
Yeah.
Beans, bullets, and Band-Aids. The bullets in there, they got to be shot from something.
I mean, they do make chocolate bullets. Are we talking chocolate bullets?
Silver bullets.
Well, I was thinking, okay, so there's the emergency rule of 3, which is 3 minutes of without air, 3 hours without shelter exposure, right? And then you got 3 days without water and 3 weeks without food, right? Those are just your general numbers. It's like, but then I was starting to think, I'm like, okay, what are some other ways to say that? And it's just like basically it's like fire, filters, and then food. But then I'm like, oh no, fire could be firearms, but it's also like fire for warmth as a shelter, right? But it's just like, man, there's so many things: beans, bullets, Band-Aids, fire, filters.
Yeah, you can come up with your own
food, right? Like you can go anywhere, but it's like you just got to start doing this. Like you just got to get into this, and it's so much fun. And you'll be like, if you go back to the beginning of this episode, you'll be like Shane, getting all giddy and excited, Christmas moments in the areas of prep and self-defense and rights and that you geek out on.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I'm a shelter geek and a foodie. And so like those two things are my favorite topics, and I can go on and on for hours. This is another high level enjoyment for me, but I'm nowhere near in the knowledge base that Jason and Shane are.
Mm-hmm.
And then Paris is like, well, I don't know. I'm new at this. I'm like, you're doing great. Keep up the work.
Well, I'm getting trained by some good people that we've had on, and what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to live what I preach or live what I teach. If I'm going to say, look, guys, you need to have this, that, and the other, it's because I'm doing it, not because I'm saying to do it and then I'm not doing it. I'm really working diligently to be the kind of guy that has the moral authority because I'm doing what I say and talk about. And that's the thing. And I'm learning as I go. I'm realizing that, everybody's starts from somewhere, and the only way for me to become good at it is to be bad at it first. And I'm horrible at some things. And now I've got a lot more confidence in certain areas, hand to hand, firearms. And, even now I'm looking at some battery stuff that Shane's the master of the battery and the solar stuff. So that's kind of the next phase. We'll see where everything's going.
We all go through phases. We all have, at least I'm talking about myself, there's certain times when like I said, I'm just absorbed into solar, but right now I'm absorbed into handguns. That's my world at the moment.
You didn't show your cards at all in the beginning of this podcast.
No, of course not. No, but I've been carrying for about 20 plus years. I have my concealed carry, but I've gone through so many different firearms, so many different weapons, that it's just an absolute learning process for me. Like I mentioned before, Scott, I didn't carry one in the barrel probably the first 10 years I was carrying. I was too scared. And plus, I didn't really have confidence in my selection of firearms and so forth. And just recently, my eyes were opened once again, and I stepped away from my XDs, and now I'm into Glocks and CZs and Walthers and all different kinds. So I'm going down that road, and I'm experimenting, I'm learning, and I'm narrowing, and then I'll get done with that phase and move on to something else. And like I did solar, I was heavy into solar early 2000s, and just learning like crazy, and then I felt satisfied, and I moved on to something else. So I mean, I'm very passionate when I'm into something at the moment, right?
That's awesome. Now, last episode, we talked a lot about if you're brand new to the industry or brand new to your Second Amendment rights and you really want to start exercising them, first of all, you've got to know what kind of firearm is going to fit your hand. You got to have some training. So, Jason, are at this event, is this going to be something that somebody who's never really kind of picked up a handgun can come to and really start to feel like, hey, you know what, I can get involved here? Is that do you think these guys are going to have some of that opportunities?
I think, we're going to have a firearm simulator from Walrus Tactical. That would be a great, and I mean like a fantastic starting point for people to kind of feel the ergonomics and like going through the motions of how to properly use a firearm. So that would be a great resource for people. I would say if someone's wanting to get into this, but they're scared, which is totally fine, right? I mean, if they're scared at the thought of loud noises and gunfire, I don't know that this would be the best event to come to, because I mean, we might have an M134 minigun going over here and like 2 or 3 50 cal Barretts going over here, and like it's not for the faint of heart, right? Yeah. There's got to be an element where you're kind of comfortable in that environment.
Yeah.
So if you're like brand new and you're timid about it, this may not be the best event, unless you want to go hang out, kind of near the kids stuff, which would be great too, and kind of like dip a toe in. But if you're brand new to it and you're committed and you're excited about it, and you're not thinking the gunfire will be an issue, then yeah, come. But I mean, when you're up on the line, like it's
loud.
And when you're talking 50 cal, you're talking concussive power, right?
You feel it.
You feel it in your chest. You could be 20 feet off the line and you can still, feel the concussion of a M2. Yeah.
That's awesome. So do you have to wear ear protection all around the whole?
So yeah, most folks that were around the M2s all day, like on the firing line, they had double. A lot of guys would put foamies and then put like over the ear electronic musk, just because the 50 cals can be, they make their presence known.
They're a little loud.
Yeah, they're a little loud. But like I said, there will be a good chance that obviously the 1 hour they'll be suppressed, and there's really no reason that during most of the event they could just be suppressed. So I mean, we might have that a little bit more under control this year with the Silencer Shop coming in as a sponsor and providing a bunch of suppressors to those who need it.
So you said that there's going to be some potential for some winnings, like to be able to win some stuff. Give us a little teaser if you can. Can you give us a teaser on some things that we might be able to win if we go?
So R&R Tactical is an amazing support of Utah shooters. And he's last year he called me over and was like, hey, we got to get you set up with some raffle items. And the idea was I was just going to go pick up a gun. And he was like, you know what, anything on the wall. He's like, he could pick any 2 guns that you want off the wall. And so that's the kind of treatment we get from R&R Tactical. So big shout out to them. So I haven't gone and picked out our guns for this year from them, but I mean, last year was awesome. I want to say we had oh my gosh, what's it called? A Century Arms AP5, which is basically like an MP5 clone. So we gave one of those away. We had 300 Blackout AR-15. We had a handful of AR-15s. We had a shotgun from Iron Horse Firearms out of North Salt Lake. Really cool aluminum chassis pump action shotguns that are mag fed. Really cool company there. We had a couple of handguns. We had suppressors. So I mean, well, I can't go public with a list at the moment because not everything is signed and official, but it'll be the same, right? We'll have suppressors to give away. We'll have rifles to give away, all sorts of good stuff.
And so do you just give it to somebody who's to pay their ticket to get in? That's the raffle, or do they pay for extra tickets?
So that's a good question. We tried something out last year. All the years previous, it was like, hey, if you spend X amount of dollars at our Utah Shooters merch booth, like you can get raffle tickets, or you could just buy raffle tickets. Last year, we tried something new that everyone was super stoked about. Every $20 you spend at any of the vendor booths, they'll issue you a raffle ticket.
Nice.
So
cool.
So it was an amazing, and we tracked, my wife and I counted the tickets after the event, and we know it was a somewhat conservative number of all the raffle tickets that made it into the tumbler. And I say that because we know of people who forgot to put tickets in, or forgot to issue people tickets, which we'll work on this year. We'll have a little more well-known, but any guesses how much money was spent at Shootah patronizing businesses?
Probably 280 to 300. Okay.
Whoa. You're thinking of like PrepperCon days, maybe.
Well, that was 590 to 700K.
So it was 80,000. But
wow,
I'm just thinking gun prices are higher, so I was hoping that it'd be up there.
No, that's true. And there, firearms can be sold, but I don't think a lot of the FFLs were I don't think people were buying guns, if that makes sense. I think a few guys had some for sale if people wanted to, but like they were buying complete uppers, they were buying rifle bags, they were buying all sorts of tons of ammo, as we've seen at all the gun shows, right? Like ammo goes fast. But yeah, 80,000, which isn't quite your 250 to 300, but 80K spent at an event that
one day
in one day was like, oh, that's pretty awesome for us, just to kind of put that feather in our cap of like, hey, we created this opportunity for local business and this opportunity for the citizens to come get good deals and come meet new companies that are right up the road that they probably didn't know existed. I mean, it's awesome. We go a step further too, to give time for the vendors of Shootah to spend time mingling. That was some of the feedback we'd received of like, hey, we all know we're in the same backyard. All these companies know of each other, but they never really get a whole lot of time to like meet and collab. So we provide an opportunity for that as well during this event, where we have a B2B networking event.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're doing what we can as we come up with it to continue to grow Utah's firearm industry.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what are you doing to advertise and to kind of get the word out for people? Obviously, you're on our podcast. We're helping spread the word, but what else are you doing to get the word out?
We've got some campaigns that are going to be launching soon around Utah County, Salt Lake County. We'll see some billboards go up, some digital billboard stuff. I've got a couple of different entities, like local businesses that we may be doing some text and email campaigns that are very. I can't say their name at the moment because it's not all signed and official yet. But we've got that. We've got a whole bunch of content creators that we're bringing into the event. They'll be doing some social media stuff for us, and I'm going to be putting out a whole bunch of flyers, posters. We've got a really cool graphic artist partner of ours. Shout out to Rat King out of Provo, and he's developed a really cool visual aspect, tapping into this guy here, the U.S. Gear Co. Jackalope, and kind of bringing that design and that art. Because if you go to U.S. Gear Co., you'll notice like the branding there is pretty. It's kind of like specific into like that desert vaporwave kind of look.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna have a bunch of cool posters that you'll see around town. We're gonna have those in a couple of select restaurant chains and a whole gun shops, and like really if anyone has anybody they know with a 2A friendly business, like we'd love to put some posters up.
That's
So,
awesome. So, and then we can all spread the word as you start putting that stuff out on social media. We can share it and do whatever. Are you going to the gun show this weekend at Mountain America in Sandy?
I was not planning on it.
Oh, I just didn't know if that would be another opportunity to kind of show and spread the word too.
Maybe I'll make it there. Did you say it's this weekend?
I thought so. I was looking at the billboards as I was driving the 15, and it said that.
Well, I'm going to be in St. George this weekend, so I'm going to miss it. But we were at the last gun show at Mountain America, and we handed out like early bird discount codes to everyone going through the doors.
That's cool.
So we kind of got like an early shot in the arm with people getting registered that way.
Well, this is going to be a fun event. I'm excited. We're going to be there. Melissa in our group is saying she's from St. George, so maybe you'll bump into her accidentally down there.
Hey, Melissa, let's go shoot sometime.
But for those of you who are worried about the flooding in Utah, this is actually in a place that's a little bit higher. So you won't. I don't think we'll have any water issues down there. But
did someone ask that?
Well, no, there's a lot of people asking that just across social media.
Just in general.
And for anyone listening to this later, like the nice thing about that area is it is raised a bit. And there is Hollow Creek, but it's lower. And that's not one of the major water spillways that we're worried about.
No.
Yep.
So definitely get out there. It's going to be May 20th, 10 a.m. to 5. And guys, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. There's not a whole lot of events that I get excited about and I'm willing to take work off for. So this will be one of those.
Sweet.
That's going to be awesome. Any last minute plug or push or anything you want to share or say, Jason, before we sign off?
No, just if people can go to shootah.com or shootahevents.com. We've got 3 events. On Thursday, May 18th, there's a golf tournament. It's a benefit golf tournament for Forge Forward, which is a group of veterans that are pioneering VR technology that balances the brain with blood flow. And it's been they've actually had some pretty breakthrough stuff where they can reverse PTSD. And
wow.
It's amazing stuff. Right through that door is actually their headquarters. So we're kind of in the same building. So we're doing this cool Top Golf. Vineyard has a brand new, I think it's the newest Top Golf in the nation. Super cool venue. And we're doing a tournament there. So if people want to come support Forge Forward and, meet a bunch of cool people, we'll be there Thursday. And then obviously you can get Shootah tickets and Shootah After Dark tickets all in the same receipt, essentially. If you go to that shootahevents.com, you can get a multiple event discount. I think you can probably stack discounts too. So if you have multiple people on your ticket as well, you'll get a group rate. But yeah, it'll be a good time. We've got the golf tournament, and then Saturday's just stacked with 10 to 5 Shootah, and then I think 8:30 to midnight for night shoot.
With tons of free gifts for those that get raffle tickets. So is it a be there? You got to be present to win?
No.
Okay, cool. So if you come and later in the afternoon you get your name called, you'll get a call probably at home and say, hey, by the way, you won. So come on down and get your item. So
yep.
Jason, thanks again for being on with us. Thanks for everybody who's joined our live, all the people who are watching. We're grateful. For those of you who are watching later, make sure you check. We'll put a little bit more information into the description. Some of the stuff we've talked about, the different websites we've mentioned, we'll try to get those into the description of the video as well. And for those of you on our podcast, make sure you head on over to our, I think there's some stuff in the podcast description too. But if you want to have some more, if you want to see some of the things we're talking about, as Shane showing his gear and Jason showing his gear, if you guys want to see some of the stuff, go to our YouTube channel and check us out there and make sure you subscribe and share with all your friends. And let's get the word out. Let's get the word about being prepared, about being ready, and then also being about trained in the skill sets necessary to protect our rights, to stay prepared, be prepared, and get prepared. So everybody, please please stay ready, be ready. Make sure that you're focused on God, family, and country, because there's a balance that's necessary as we move forward in this world, this crazy world we're in right now. So everybody, you've been listening to Prepper Talk Radio. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you the next time.